Hello.
What's up?
Hello.
Sorry. Don't mind me.
God, Bill, it's taking forever. How do you spell straightened?
Straightened. Straightened. Straightened.
See, freaking my Mac's trying to autocorrect that. Straightened.
No, Ned.
Ned. Okay, that's where I'm screwing up.
You guys hear me okay?
Yep.
There we go.
I'm good.
Okay, thank you.
Did you guys get the Hangouts toolbox? You don't necessarily need it, but that's how we're doing the overlays. In case you care.
I don't know where it went. Oh, it's over on the side. Okay.
It's still saying it's wrong. Straightened.
In the chat.
I gotta Google it. This is ridiculous.
In the chat.
Oh, you put it in the chat? Okay.
There we go. Perfect. All right.
Oh, it's Ened. That's what I had wrong. Jesus.
Not straight Ned, straight end. Straight Ned Flanders. Sounds like a good Simpsons character.
My phone would typically correct this, but my Mac is just telling me it's wrong. It won't correct it for some reason. Maybe it's because I'm in Chrome.
Maybe it's not politically correct.
Maybe it's not. That's what it is.
Yeah. For some reason, this is already live, so.
Well, yeah, there's no viewers, so we're good.
Yeah. It's just like normal.
Wait a minute. Is my stuff backwards?
most people are like, the Simulcast, I thought that show quit.
Yeah. It's not backwards. It only appears backwards to you.
Okay, gotcha.
And here again, I can't find the call.
There's an option to mirror your video in the up by the enable lower third thing.
Okay.
There it is. Now I sees it. It's in a different window, and that's why I never can find it.
It's okay. I had to go back and look at the darn chat from last time to figure out how to get in to start the live stream. I was sitting there like, darn it, Patrick, come on. I got stuff to do.
I was about to message you too, right? When you said, hey, do I need to do this? I'm
like, I know you're here. I see you typing.
So me and Patrick are polar opposites. Like, I'm complete white background, and he's complete black.
Yeah.
I've got sheetrock, man.
Yes.
Looks awesome.
Good. It's legit. Almost done.
Sweet. Okay.
Let's see.
I'm literally laughing at Donnie's picks this week. This is great.
Oh, you like that? Yeah, I just threw some of that in for good measure.
Oh, it's going to get real.
Yeah.
I was going to take them out, but I think I'm going to leave them.
No, just leave them.
Yep.
We're pretty irreverent anyway. All right.
I can't stand that guy.
Are you guys ready?
Whenever you're ready, Chief.
I am ready.
All right.
Mute button. Here we go.
In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This week on Simulcast 254, Donnie has sheetrock. Patrick has a black background again. And there's Brian Feldhouse. We have no idea what this is. A complete cluster this week. Just stay tuned. All right. So I'm Bill Stebbins, and you're listening to Simulcast 254. Yes, that opening is a complete mess. And yes, I don't care. We had some trouble getting started. That's why I already named the show. Sorry.
Did we have trouble, Bill, or did you have trouble?
We, the royal we. So that is Donnie Benfield. He's joining us again this week. This month.
This month. A month and a half, 2 months, somewhere around there.
Ish.
What's up, guys?
We also have Brian Feldhouse.
Hey, guys. Glad to be back.
And then everyone knows Patrick Vergadamo.
What's up?
Just living the dream, apparently. The dream where I see you typing, thinking you're not starting the hangout, and then realizing it's probably me that's supposed to do it. When you get old, you just start forgetting things or thinking that you know everything, and that's not really the case.
It looks like you've had too much sun.
I have not. I've been out in the garage working on cars. It's hot out there.
I can actually share your pain with that.
Yeah, I bet you can.
Day in and day out.
Darn weather. Yeah, so we're here to talk about some tech. So let's talk about some tech this week. We have current events, and one of the big current events that is in here is that Qualcomm is showing off some technology that lets electric cars charge while driving, which I have always wondered why they couldn't do that. I mean, they have regenerative braking right now that charges while you brake. So how is it that they're going to let cars charge while driving?
From what I read on it, it seems like they're going to create kind of like a special lane where it'll have these things embedded, and as you're driving and you drive over these devices, it will wirelessly charge your electric vehicle.
Like a slot car kind of thing?
That was my thought initially. It'd be interesting to see how it carries out. It'll be interesting to see what states infrastructure allow them to input this in once it's there. But I mean, it does solve kind of the quandary of recharging for long trips for some of these where they don't have a large enough battery life for long trips.
The other night, one of my friends on Twitter asked me, said, I'm guessing you're never going to want an electric car, which for anybody that knows me, I'm pretty into cars and doing cool stuff to them. And I was like, actually, no, I would love to get like a Tesla or something. I think they're super cool, but one of the limitations is that you have to charge them, and most of them you have to plug in. And so you're kind of limited, if you just want to hop in the car and drive however far away, you got to make sure there's some kind of a charging station along the way. So if they would have this, that's kind of interesting. I wonder who pays for that. Us, I guess.
They'll probably get a federal grant.
Yeah, us.
Yes,
we
us.
pay for it.
Well, that's what I miss about my hybrid that I had. I had that Lexus, the CT200 that I leased for a couple of years, and that's the way it just charged regenerative. Wherever you depending on idle and RPMs, it would charge itself. Never had to plug it in. It was great.
Yeah. So the Lexus and like the Volt and that, they've got an onboard generator, right? Is that how it works? Or does it actually have? I think there's a couple technologies where one is like the gas engine will run to charge the battery, and the other is like you've got a true hybrid where they've got a gasoline motor that actually drives the car and then charges the pack, and then it goes into electric mode. So I don't remember which one the CT200 was.
Yeah. I don't recall how. I just remember how it. I want to say it was under a certain RPM. It would kick on. It would kick on and then charge it. I think that's what. Actually, no, it was over a certain RPM. The gasoline would kick in.
Correct.
Then that's when it would regenerate the electrical charge. That's right.
Because if you're driving in city, you could potentially stay on electric.
Part mode.
It was cool.
To me, what's interesting about this technology, though, if they can get it where it's driving, it means it'll be even easier to install this underneath parking spots so that you just park without having to actually plug in or anything too.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting probably in the next 10 or 15 years to see where things go. That's why,
I'll be in diapers by then. So
again,
yeah.
Yeah. For me, I mean, I'm trying to live it up while I still can before they pry all my stuff out of my hands.
Until gas is gone forever.
Yeah.
It won't be gone.
Gas is so outdated. It's E85 now.
It's archaic. I'm ready for a battery powered mower. I mean, I've got the weed eater. I'm switching over. Weed eater and blower. Mower's the next.
That they've come out with some really cool tools to be able to do a lot of yard work. I have about an acre, so I had to have a gasoline powered mower. But
yeah, that would be a deal breaker.
And blower and all the other stuff. You can get some really powerful batteries for them, and that worked fine.
It's getting better and better.
All right, so we're off the rails, so to speak. Amazon is ending its unlimited cloud storage plan, and I'll admit I don't know anyone that actually used that.
I actually tried it when it first came out because they had that thing where you could get it for $5. But then I never renewed it after that. When it was $59.99 a year for unlimited, but it was such a pain to try to access stuff. I mean, it was basically only good for if you wanted to make a backup of stuff, so you could basically have a clone of like your terabyte external drive or something of that sort. But now basically they're going to a similar pricing model of Dropbox and Google Plus. I don't know, with Dropbox and Google Drive, that there's really no reason because the UI for it is nowhere near as good as those other ones.
I have it for a backup. I've backed up a lot of old pictures and stuff to it just because. I mean, it was part of it. But I mean, I use Google and Amazon, but I don't hardly ever access the Amazon stuff. Like you said, Patrick, it's not the most beautiful thing in the world.
Yeah, I mean, it's really just a doomsday type backup solution.
Right.
Is it really necessary though? I mean, if you use Google Photos or something, just say, well, I mean, I guess we're talking about other files, but like photos, like Donnie said, you don't have to worry about backing up in a couple different places.
Well, I don't know, man. You would trust Google Photos completely? I don't trust any cloud storage. It's just one backup. I just can't do it.
I don't, and here's why. It's not that I think Google's going to lose my photos, but
right.
Say, for instance, I violated some terms of service and they decide to delete my account.
Or what if somebody hijacked your account by chance? I mean, I've heard of people having that happen where they can't log back in and then they log back in and lost all their stuff. I mean, it's not a frequent happening, but I don't want to rely on one backup. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's worth at least having a couple. I usually keep one on site and then a couple of off-site ones. And, Microsoft's OneDrive was great for that when it was free, whatever they called it at the time, SkyDrive or whatever. And until people started abusing it, which they said, it's unlimited. And then we didn't mean you should store all your stuff there.
Yeah, we didn't really mean unlimited.
Yeah, we meant unlimited, but not really unlimited. That's the Verizon AT&T model.
Right. 22 gigabytes, if you will.
Yeah.
Give or take a few.
All right. So Sega has brought some classic games back to iOS and Android called is it Sega Forever?
Yep.
Oh man.
Is the story from today?
Yes. I believe so. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Are these games out? I thought they were just coming out.
It's supposed to be out. I didn't
really
check for it. There's 5 games right now, and they're going to be adding games every month. It's free with ad support, or you can an in-app purchase of $1.99. It gets rid of the ads.
Oh, I did see this because they have Sonic the Hedgehog.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, I freaking love that game.
Yeah, but it's so hard to play on a screen. Man, I have it on my iPhone and my old iPhone, but it's hard.
But Donnie, you have an Android phone, right?
I do. I have.
You're a PS3 controller with it.
Can you do that?
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's the business right there.
I just like those 8-bit dudes. They have some pretty good ones too. The SNES controller.
My fear was that the controller wouldn't work. Like you could pair the controller, but it necessarily wouldn't work with the game.
Yeah, it will.
It will.
Amazon, on Google, on Android, it should definitely do it.
Yeah, there's a profile for it.
Because that's the deal I had with iPhone. Is like I would have a controller, but it wouldn't work with the game, and I'm like, okay, this sucks. Or I go in there and program each button individually and do all that. I'm like, no, I don't have time for that.
Well, you should be good.
I don't see it out. It's not out yet.
Yeah, I thought they said like the 22nd or something like that. I didn't think it was today.
It's not out yet.
Well, by the time somebody gets around to listening to our show,
right?
Probably, yeah.
The 3 people, Steve Trotto, he's here. He's listening.
Steve.
What's going on, Steve?
Yeah, they don't really say. I'm skimming the article. They don't really say when it's available, but we'll say it says released tomorrow, June 21st. So being released, 5 titles released tomorrow in the U.S., and then every 2 weeks a new title.
Code in.
$2 to turn off ad forever. Yeah, I think I might.
They're scared of Mario.
Yeah, cool.
Did anybody play the Mario?
No.
I did a little bit.
Did you buy it, or did you only pay the free?
I just played the free.
Cheapskate.
It's not that I'm cheap. I've got like, I don't know, $80 worth of play credit. I don't know what to spend it on.
Send me some. I need some play credit. I love the refund thing. I still take advantage of the refund. I mean, it's like, ooh, let me check this out as fast as I can. Refund.
You need to do the Google Rewards thing where they give you surveys and you get free play credit.
I've done that. I have done that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
I get all kinds of stuff from that. It's great.
I just used up I think I had like $5 over. They gave me from doing that. I forgot about that. I'll go do it again.
No, I have $35 in my account. Oh, you can't even see it.
So I'm whoring myself out for free money.
Yeah. But that's I mean, hey, who doesn't, right?
Right.
It's not free if you're whoring yourself out. All right, Patrick, what is this about facial recognition? Because I thought they already had some of this stuff.
Well, TSA and them have been there's a couple airports they've actually testing it at, but that supposedly it's going to start rolling out to other airports. And the idea is that basically do facial scans as people pass through to try to catch people that are on watch lists and things of that sort.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, they have been testing it, and I think we had talked about this at one point. A couple airports where they were kind of doing it, beta testing it, but now apparently they're getting ready to move it to the next phase, which is start rolling it out to the major airports, down to the smaller airports finally.
So how does this work? I mean, am I missing something? Or obviously I am, but fill me on it. You just walk up and like a thing recognizes your face by your ID or what?
No, from what I understand, this is going to be basically like NSA type stuff where the cameras, as you're walking through terminals and stuff, it will scan and look to try to do facial recognitions of people.
Oh, like CSI kind of crap?
Yes.
I'm sure they probably already have that, guys. Come on.
Yeah, I'm thinking that's already in place. Haven't y'all seen any of the Bourne movies? No, I'm just
yeah.
Well, that's interesting. I mean, I don't really care so much because I don't have anything to hide, but what if they pick you up as a terrorist and you're not really that guy?
You just happen to look like that person.
Right. Or you happen to appear on a podcast
backdrop.
And it seems like most of this is going to be used mostly for like visas and stuff to catch people who are re-entering illegally and things of that sort, to kind of scan them as they go out and then catch them if they come back in without a proper visa and stuff.
Oh, so Trump put this in place.
Actually, this predates his administration.
Oh, okay.
It's all Trump's fault.
It's his fault anyways.
Yep.
He's going to allow it to go through.
It's going to be huge.
Impeach him.
Believe me.
All right. So, Donnie, you want to talk iOS 11 and Android O?
I do. Is anybody here running either of those?
I'm running O.
And Brian, what about you?
On your daily driver?
Yeah. I live dangerously.
Yeah. No, I'm not actually. No. I have no interest in doing it.
I have it on my iPad, the iOS 11 on the Android phone. I'm waiting for Bill to give me the thumbs up, like a complete, yeah, go for it.
Oh, you're never getting that from me because I don't want to be on the hook. Like, you might want to wait, Donnie.
Man, I've done every iPhone beta since 4, so I can tolerate it.
This is the first one I haven't done, Donnie. I mean, you know me, I've always done it, and I've just there's nothing really interests me in 11. Honestly,
I think the iPad is the biggest change compared from the iPhone because I wasn't expecting it, and I was thinking, it's just going to be meh. And then I put it on the iPad, and I was pleasantly surprised at what I was seeing, especially the dock. I don't know if anyone's seen it where you can pull the dock up from any location. I think that's a really cool feature. Now the iPhone, that doesn't matter so much, and I don't think the iPhone has that feature. I have not used it on an iPhone, only the iPad. But I think the iPad, they're making some good changes on it. I was really excited, but I still think that from what I'm understanding, that either both OSs, they're not. O is not that big of a change, right, Bill?
It's a lot of fine tuning behind the scenes. So, a couple iterations ago, I think it was KitKat, they started to implement material design to make it pretty. And now they've pretty much gotten to where it looks good. It's very consistent from a performance perspective. And now they're tweaking all the battery stuff and performance stuff behind the scenes. So
did they do like big overhauls of notification center or notification?
They changed the way it looks some. And I don't know how that is going to end up in the final, but they're starting to add some new stuff. And I haven't used them a whole lot, but they're adding notification channels, which allows apps to specify the types of notifications they send to you so that they can be grouped. And you can snooze notifications now, which is super handy. So before, like, say you can do that in an inbox. You get an email and you need to snooze it for later. But you can do that with a text message or with a tweet, pretty much anything that'll support it. So there's a lot of cool things you can do to kind of manage the clutter, which is really handy for me.
Yeah, I'm going to have to run that soon.
But here's the thing, Donnie. The way that Google has constructed the beta now, you can go and just sign up your device and the notification hits your device pretty much instantaneously to install it. And so you don't have to hook it up to a computer. You don't have to wipe it. You don't have to do anything. So it's really easy to get in on the beta. And if you decide you don't like it and you want to go back, you go and leave the beta, and then it'll send you a notification that it's going to send you an update to the old version, and then it will wipe your device. But, I was on developer preview. I started on 2, and it wasn't great, but it wasn't bad. There were some issues with, just jank in general. They fixed a lot of that about 2 weeks ago. And so really the only nitpick I have is that the camera is a bit slow to launch sometimes.
All right.
But when the screen's been off and it's like in doze or whatever. But other than that, it's pretty solid.
I know I did the iPad, and it was a pretty bad experience. My iPad was already registered, and I had to go download the profile to get it to install. And I installed it, and everything was booted up and running right. The night before I'd used it, it was on a Friday night I did it, and I used it Saturday morning. Everything was cool, and it was getting a little slow, so I was like, all right, it needs a reboot. Reboot the device, and I'm hung on the Apple logo. Will not come out of the Apple logo. I'm like, oh my gosh. Literally, I had to wipe the device and reinstall the profile, and then I started from scratch. But it might be because the iPad hadn't been started from scratch for 3 or 4 years, probably. Maybe not that long. But
that seems like a problem I would have had on Android back in the day.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it is what it is. I mean, it's an iPad Air. It's not a brand new device, but I've never had that happen before on installing a beta on any iOS device. But I got a fresh, clean install with not much on it now, so I will. But I feel like overall the changes that I see they're good changes, but I still think that everybody's saying like it's huge and massive, but we're not seeing big changes with these operating systems right now.
No, we haven't in probably a year or two. I mean, there's under the hood stuff that kind of makes me happy, but from a visual perspective, they're changing a little bit. I saw some stuff in iOS 11 they changed, I think, with Control Center that I didn't think was visually pleasing. But
it is on the iPad and not on the iPhone. That's what's weird. But and I just tweeted about that earlier. We just got beta 2 today, and I just got it installed, and they actually straightened some of the icons up, and they do that. I mean, they throw it out there, and then they start looking at it and gonna realize that, hey, this looks like crap. We need to straighten this up and fix it. But it still does look kind of different. I don't know who. Sometimes I wonder where they get these ideas from, but I don't know. We're under Tim Cook's era, so.
Patrick, are you running the beta on yours?
No, I was running when I still had my 6P doing the beta program, but I haven't done it on the Pixel just because I count on it too much. I thought about doing the iOS 11, but I don't feel like doing that yet either.
Yeah, I could see that. And it's funny because my backup plan if O was really horrible was I was just going to use my daughter's old Moto G3.
Oh,
That wouldn't have lasted.
No, it wouldn't have lasted, but it would have been a good backup.
yeah.
I can walk around with the little yellow Moto G3 that says Miranda Panda on the back. It would have been awesome.
I don't want to read to set an Android phone because I set the S8 Plus up and then took it back and went back to the Pixel, and I've set the Pixel up now, and I'm just not really looking forward to doing that again. So I'm gonna hang tight for a while.
I'll be honest, I had to reset mine after the first developer preview, and it was pretty seamless for me. I didn't have to reinstall, but just a couple of apps, and the apps downloaded and they were already set up, so it was pretty painless for me.
They did update from the S8 Plus. It showed the background, the backup on the Pixel, and it actually restored the apps. But there's so many little nitpick things that I do with Android, and I don't know. I feel like it takes me time. I don't sit down and do them. I get it to where the device is going, and here and there, I just try to straighten things up or change this setting, and then after a while, I've gotten a lot of time invested in it, and then when you reset it, it's like, oh, I got to do all this crap over. Yeah, I wish they would get Android to where it would do that like iOS, because iOS will go back exactly like it was, and Google, I don't know why Google doesn't do that.
I wonder if it's just because you went from a Samsung device to a Pixel. Because when I do like my Nexus to my Pixel or any of that, then it seems to really pick up all the settings that I had.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe that's the case. Maybe all the ringtones and the stuff like that are different on the Samsung, so it doesn't necessarily carry over. Right. That would make sense.
Yep.
Well, cool. That's all I wanted to talk about on that. I just wanted to mention them because I know there were 2 new OSs, and I know you were running O, and I'm running 11, so it's worth mentioning.
What do you guys think Android O is going to be called?
Oreo.
It's got to be Oreo, right?
Right.
And they just came out with those new Oreo thins. Would that not be I said this on was it AXP, Patrick, that I said that you have a black phone on the front and the back with a little white line around it?
They're not going to do that.
I'm going to make a mint when that comes out. I'm going to make some stickers for it.
And then you're going to get featured on Android Central.
Yeah, Leo Laporte's going to call me out or whoever.
Who called you out on the last one?
Andy Anako.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Douchebag.
Hey, he sent me $9.
Did he really?
Yeah. Yeah, he bought some.
On my Google Pixel.
Yeah. The Pixel that I got from.
I'm on an Apple podcast, but let's talk about the Google phone the whole time. Sorry, don't get me started.
God. Well, there goes one listener.
I like Google, but I don't just. I mean, if you're gonna do an Apple podcast, don't talk about that the whole time.
Yeah. All right, so let's talk about the the new Android phone that just came out. The OnePlus 5. There was a launch yesterday at noon. I was at work, so I wasn't able to really watch, but a lot of it had already been leaked. I did. They did have, if you want, there's a code you can put in and get like an early pre-sale.
Which they're out of stock.
Are they?
What about the other phone? What is that phone? I keep forgetting the name of that. Andy Rubin's phone. Essential. Yeah, I cannot remember that name. That's bad. I can't remember the name of it.
I saw some pictures from that phone and it turned me off completely.
So how many pictures did you see? Just 2? The 2 that everyone saw?
I saw several pictures plus the videos.
Okay.
They were atrocious. I mean, like Trio 650 pictures.
Surely he's smarter than that.
I don't know, man.
On an $800 phone?
I don't know. I love the way the phone looks. I like the little cutout for the camera, which seems to really piss some people off.
Oh, it pisses me off. I can't take it.
Oh, I love it. I don't know why. I just do. I just love that.
If the iPhone had that and I was using the iPhone, I think I'm gonna put tape on the top of it. I don't know. It's an OCD thing. I'm like, no. And I'm pretty sure they're going to do that. It looks like they're going to.
So
or maybe if it's not actual screen. So I could tolerate it more if they used it for like the notification tray or the bar or something like that, I'm okay with that. But if they use it as part of the screen,
No. It's an
super annoying.
18 by 9 screen. So that's blank when you're watching videos and stuff.
Yeah. It just the wallpapers with it cut out looks bad.
I love it.
Oh, I don't like it.
I'm gonna make a sticker for my Pixel, and I'm gonna stick it right here, right up here. You laugh. I'm gonna post a picture later.
What do you guys think about that looking like an iPhone 7 Plus?
Oh my gosh, that phone looks.
Is it
We're not
identical?
talking about the Essential. We're talking about the OnePlus 5 now. But man, what in the
Identical.
Tell me what I'm missing, please, because I am not sure what I'm missing on this phone. Somebody explain it to me. I don't get it.
It's a cheaper phone than any of the other ones. I mean, really, that's all it's got going for it. Now, the OnePlus One was a really good phone. It had superb battery life. That's the best battery life I ever got on an Android phone. And I love the back of it. It was that sandstone. It was really easy to hold. Overall, it was a great phone. I haven't used any of the newer OnePlus devices, but the 5 looks nice. There's 2 things I don't like. One, I don't like the front-facing fingerprint scanner. And I also don't like the fact that it's almost $500 for a OnePlus device.
I don't get cloning an iPhone and saying that we spent hours and hours on design. What?
Well, how long does it take to go through Apple's website, Donnie?
I mean, what? 5 minutes? I just don't. I don't understand the phone. If it was like $250 or $300, then maybe I could get it. But I don't know. I don't understand. But do something different.
Do you remember when we the notifications came through for the OnePlus invites?
Yes.
Like people were selling those invites and
yeah. And I actually liked that phone. I almost bought the original OnePlus. I thought it was a really cool phone. It wouldn't work on Verizon, so that's why I never did end up with one.
Yeah, Jeff sent me an invite, and I got it, and I used that phone for a long time. It was really good.
Is it still the CM guys?
No.
So there are sold out.
Oxygen OS, I think.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So they sold that out. Didn't they start that though?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
They partnered, and then I don't know the whole story, but they parted ways, and the OnePlus 2 I think launched with Oxygen OS, and it became a big cluster, kind of like the opening of the show.
Right. I mean, I'm cool with people that like the phone. I mean, I'm not. Don't think I'm just bashing you. If that's your favorite phone, that I'm cool with that. I just don't understand the hype around it. Is what I'm saying.
I think it's a lot like the Essential phone in that it's kind of a niche phone that not everybody will have. So you're kind of like this exclusive,
right.
Kind of like the Pixel. No, not so much. I mean, but when I first got my Pixel, nobody had one.
Nobody around me has a Pixel.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's part of it. But, you kind of having the access originally to the CM was kind of cool because you could run a bunch of updates quickly. And now it's just like, I don't want to deal with that. And I'm so happy to just be on Google stuff and just get the updates straight from them as soon as they're released.
That seems like the smartest thing to do. I mean, as far as the updates and security in general, I mean, why not just, I don't know, why not get a Pixel?
Yep.
Well, there was, not to stray too far from this topic, but there was a really good deal, and I think it's still going on the S8, where they were giving you $200 in trade on any old smartphone that worked. And somewhere, I don't know where it is, I've got an Evo, and I was like, I could just trade that in.
An Evo. Is it a Sprint or a Verizon Evo?
I got a Galaxy S3 here, but it's kind of.
Hey, I got a Thunderbolt I'll send you can get rid of.
It got kind of warm.
Bill, you don't want that S8, I promise you.
No, I don't. I know better.
You cannot take it.
For $425, that was a killer deal.
Yeah, there's so many things that would irk you to no end that you don't even need to go there.
No, I think I do know myself enough now to just say, yeah, it's shiny, but just stick with the Google stuff and you'll be happy. I mean, and that's kind of sad in a way because I'm not trying out the latest and greatest. But man, if I had a nickel for every phone that I spent money on and just didn't enjoy, it was like, you remember when we were out in Vegas and we were both juggling at least 2 phones.
I hate that. I hate juggling too. I had a Droid Incredible and a Nexus. Like, that doesn't even make sense.
No. At one point, Donnie, I had 2 Galaxy S3s, identical, except one was on Verizon and one was on T-Mobile. That makes absolutely no sense. Why would I do that?
Well, I can tell you, since we're talking about this, I had this S8 Plus, and I thought I was going to use it until the new Pixel came out, and I was going to get that because I love the huge screen. But that fingerprint sensor, it is the worst thing I've ever used on a phone. I cannot. Samsung screwed up so bad. If they would have taken that fingerprint sensor and moved it below the camera, it would be fine.
You mean like that?
Like that. Well, I mean, the camera's centered with the device. So the camera, let's say the camera's where the fingerprint sensor is on the Pixel. All right, that's cool. But put the fingerprint sensor below the camera, not directly beside it on the left side of the phone. I'm right-handed, and we're already talking about a phone with a 6-inch screen. So my finger's trying to go all the way up there, and sometimes I hit the camera. And if your finger doesn't set directly, completely over the fingerprint scanner, it will not open. And I do not have time to do iris scanning. That's just one of those novelty things that you hold the phone up there, and it works quickly. But on a practical day in, day out, like I'm talking to a customer and I need to pull out my phone and make an appointment. No, I don't have time to do this game of holding this phone. Oh yeah, I'm good. I can't reach the scanner either. So I'm like, throw this thing against the wall. I can't do this. No. But that I probably would have kept the phone if they would have had the fingerprint scanner where it needs to go. Besides the fact that it's Samsung's junk, I don't love it. It bothers me still.
Brian, have you tried out the S8?
No, my brother-in-law has it though. It's a nice device. I just don't. I think it's a little too narrow. I'm not talking about the Plus, but the S8, it's a little too narrow. Even coming from a Plus, iPhone 6s Plus, it was narrower than this, and it just didn't. I didn't like the.
Yeah, I get a little worried.
I didn't care for it, but it is a nice phone, nice screen, pretty screen, all that. It's just the form factor. I didn't care for it, but
in the back, if you look at it wrong, it scratches. It's insane.
Yeah, he's got some ugly case on it. I'm like, man, what's the point of this? If you got curved edge screens and you got this big bulky, it's the dumbest thing I've ever seen. I don't know.
And screen protectors that try to wrap on the side, and then like your finger swiping them, trying to get the edge display open. And it's like
it blows my mind to see people put those kind of cases on those phones. It's like just put a skin on the back or something.
Yeah, it's tough, but people drop their phones like crazy, and then some people even rinse them off under the shower.
What idiot would do that?
You guys knew.
What a moron!
You guys knew how many times I've done that and got away with that. If anybody doesn't know, I did it. I rinsed my iPhone 7 Plus off underneath the shower, and I clean it quite often. When I swapped it, I'll tell you what happened. I switched to T-Mobile. And pulling out the SIM tray 2 or 3 times, going back to Verizon because T-Mobile wouldn't cut it. Somewhere the little washer that holds the water out on the SIM tray got pulled off, and when I rinsed off underwater, it got wet. So, but other than that, I probably rinsed my iPhone off sometimes once or twice a week and never had an issue. Not like put it in the tub or the pool, just rinse it off. But be careful if you pop the SIM tray out all the time. I got it dried out though. It's completely fully functional. My wife.
I definitely enjoyed my Twitter timeline after you posted that because people had all kinds of comments about that.
I expected it. It's fine. I rinsed it under the water. Of course, I'm not mad because somebody wants to rag me about rinsing my phone off. But I really did think that Apple would replace the phone. I was shocked, and they were like, "Nope." So okay, I didn't know the SIM tray washer was gone though, and I don't think they paid any attention to it either. But if you have a phone that gets wet and you don't have Apple Care, then you're in trouble. And that's the bad thing is they told me when I bought my phone with the payment plan with Apple, the guy at the store told me that a year of Apple Care comes with the device. Well, come to find out, it doesn't come with the device unless you do the payment plan with the every year upgrade device plan.
So it's a lease, basically.
Right. So if you do that, then you get Apple Care. Well, he misinformed me about that. And I'm like, I'm supposed to have Apple Care. They're like, nope, only if you do the device every year upgrade plan. And I was like, oh, this sucks. They wanted $350. And I was like, no, I'm good. I'll draw it out. I hate Apple.
Does it work now?
It works, yeah. My wife's using it right now.
Okay.
She's gonna see if she likes it, and because she really likes it, she's getting hung, not hung. She's getting swayed by those commercials with portrait mode, you know, where it looks real fancy. And I tried to explain to her, I'm like, look, she's like, I was shooting portrait mode all the time. She's a photographer. I'm like, you don't understand portrait mode. It's not all the flash that they make it to be. It's a challenge to get the picture that you want. It's not just like as easy as they. You know, and those commercials really bother me because there's only one phone that they have that has that. Does that not bother you guys at all? The iPhone 7 Plus has. Well, you don't. Okay, you don't watch commercials. I have to see them on Hulu a lot. So that's, and I feel like it's misrepresenting the iPhone 7 because the iPhone 7 does not have portrait mode. The iPhone 7 Plus has portrait mode. So
that doesn't make any sense why they would do that.
How many people would go in the store and say, I want that phone with the portrait mode on there, the iPhone 7, and they're like, no, you have to get the big one. I'm not doing that. I just feel like it's misleading.
Yeah.
It's not the greatest marketing these days.
Tim Cook, you suck. Sorry.
So on our second panel topic, our favorite tech purchases and our biggest tech regrets. So Donnie says that Tim Cook sucks. So apparently he's not the Apple fanboy he once was.
No, I'm not.
But what's your favorite tech purchases?
Mine?
Yeah.
Right now, being back on the Pixel, I like the Pixel a lot. I liked it before I left it, and I'm finally getting some workarounds not being on the iPhone. Thanks for your hint on your little tip on Google Maps because that was super helpful. Find My Friends was a deal breaker, and now you can share your location on Google Maps. I don't know, maybe that was there all the time.
No,
I didn't know.
It was new.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean,
did you know that you can save them to your home screen too?
I did not.
So there's launcher shortcuts on the Pixel. So like if you go into, I think I don't remember if there's a widget for that. But if you go into widgets and then maps, where is it? And then scroll over and go to friends location, you can actually add a 1x1 widget for them and you can click right in and see where they are.
Oh, that's sweet. I didn't know that.
Yeah, and so if you didn't know this either, Donnie, a lot of the apps
friends location, I see it.
Yeah, so a lot of the apps on the Pixel support the launcher shortcuts. So like if you have Chrome, you can long press on it and you can get the option to go right into a new tab. It's kind of like Force Touch. Go into a new tab or new incognito tab. If you grab the right side where there's those two lines, you can actually drag that as a shortcut back onto your home screen.
Oh, so sweet. I did not know that.
One of the ones that I use most frequently is instead of going to the Play Store and then going into My Apps, you can just go in and set one for My Apps directly from the Play Store.
That's a pro tip right there.
Yeah. So, and I don't know that it works. I think if you have the Pixel launcher, I don't know if it works on the Google launcher thing, but yeah, I half of my home screen now is direct link shortcuts. So like I've got 2 links to my Nest cameras, so I can go directly into whichever camera, and it just saves you having to go, 3 layers. Yeah.
Well,
so that's my pro tip.
Pro tip, 2 pro tips. But my purchases, I would say I'm back on I bought an Android smartwatch, and I bought the Huawei 2, the one you bashed, and it's rightfully so worth bashing.
It's just not as nice looking.
It's not as nice looking. The Android Wear 2.0 is amazing. And when I'm comparing it to amazing, if you're comparing it to Android Wear 1, it's drastically different. They fixed a lot of issues. If anyone hasn't used 2.0 and they say, "Oh, it's just the same stuff," no, you need to try it out. It's really, really greatly improved. But the watch is just meh. I mean, it works good. The screen's a tad bit smaller, but I'm not getting rid of it. I don't know what else I would replace it with. So
the Misfit Vapor is coming out pretty soon, and that one's like $200. The only thing it lacks is NFC, so I may try one of those.
Yeah, NFC is not a necessity. As long as I got the weather on one of my faces, then I'm good.
Yeah.
Battery life is decent.
Yeah.
So that's my purchase.
Well, and to kind of piggyback on that, one of the things I always find amusing when I'm at work is I have the first Huawei watch, and it has the always on screen.
Yeah.
So a lot of people will mistake my watch for just a regular watch because the screen's always on and they're like their Apple Watch or whatever. And then when they discover, that I can interact with the watch screen, and they're completely amazed. And I don't know why Apple hasn't done that.
Exactly. I don't know why Apple hasn't done that either. Why do they not have a permanent clock that just shows the time on there at all times? Can someone explain that to me?
Tim Cook, paging Tim Cook.
Tim Cook, you're a douchebag.
Oh no.
If anybody hasn't noticed, I don't like Tim Cook.
Yeah, so I think if I were going to classify my favorite tech purchases, I love buying new phones, but I used to. I don't quite so much anymore. But anymore, the smart home stuff really gets me kind of excited about the future of technology. And I've talked about that quite a bit on some of the podcasts about different pieces that I'm using, with the Nest and the Ring and, all the other stuff. But it just gives you a whole different level of control over your house. And so
like the Ring doorbell. I need to get that.
Yeah, you definitely should. Even just, UPS guy comes and doesn't ring your doorbell and there's a package sitting on your doorstep all day. Like, really, dude?
Or if a child molester comes to your door.
I mean, that could happen. They could ring your doorbell. He probably just wants to rinse his phone off in the shower.
I'm just now realizing I totally missed the question too. I'm sitting here talking about the Huawei watch, and I didn't realize favorite tech purchases.
No, that's your favorite.
Back to my answer is it's actually phones still.
Great. So I don't know that I'm trying to think of biggest tech regrets, because most of the stuff I pack up, and what did I buy recently that I packed up and sent back? I think I kind of regret some of my early Android tablets. Maybe, I don't know. I kind of like the Transformer. I never got the original Moto tablet, but gosh, I don't know. Patrick, you and Brian have been really quiet. Donnie and I are just hogging the whole conversation.
How about you, Brian?
Favorite tech purchases? I'd probably, if you were talking about like one, I would say the Nexus One was probably, I think, one of the most exciting things for me. I know breaking into Android at the time, I thought, man, this is really cool stuff. And I really missed that phone. Not that I would use it on a daily basis, but I just wish I would have probably kept it. And,
the live wallpapers were insane.
Yeah, it was just, it was like crazy.
You can still get Launcher Pro in the store, man. It'll bring it back. I looked that up the other day. I didn't know it was still there.
And and probably I would say another thing would probably be like, the smart home stuff. I thought the Nest thermostat was the coolest thing when I got that first time. I'm like, man, this is really cool. Change the temperatures. It knows when I'm leaving the house. It goes to auto away. I thought it was just a really cool piece of tech. I just really love that. But tech regrets.
If you would have had the 7 Plus, that would be your answer.
I never got it.
Good move.
Yeah.
Your Apple TV, maybe?
Oh, that's a good one, Patrick.
I still use that once in a while.
You still have one in the box, right?
Yeah. I do have one in the box. You got anybody want one or need one? I have one in the box that's not even opened.
You have the strongest willpower known to man.
I mean, I don't use it that much. I mean, I did the other day when I was watching. Well, I don't want to jump topics, but periscoping and throwing a concert on there. Somebody was streaming a U2 concert, and I threw it up on the TV, and I thought that was pretty cool, so I could watch it on the TV. But a lot of people periscope these concerts on the weekends. I mean, Metallica, and it was all kinds of. Joan Jett was on there. I'm like, this is pretty cool. But anyway, I would say probably some tablets as well is probably my biggest tech. But some of my most profitable ones too, because I'll usually buy them real cheap and then I sell them and make a profit on them. So, like the
$30 tablet.
Yeah. I get like a deal and then I sell it for like $250. But anyway, that's about it. Patrick, what do you think?
Okay, so probably my favorite tech purchases. One, I'll agree with Donnie. I really like the Pixel. It's probably my favorite Android phone I've ever had. Probably next favorite Android phone would have probably been the Note 3. Just it was like the first Android phone where I really didn't have any issues with it. Like I really liked all the features of it. The S Pen was awesome. The IR blaster, especially if you're sitting in a bar, change the TV, things of that sort.
Don't forget about the Thunderbolt though.
Yeah, see,
oh my gosh, I forgot all about that phone.
Tech regret.
I can't really make that one a tech regret because that was the best phone they had when I switched over to Verizon, because I switched over to lock in the grandfather. So
that was like his hotspot.
It was.
I had the first LTE phone, right?
That one, and what was it? The Samsung Charge.
Oh, God, that wasn't even an option.
But probably my absolute favorite tech purchase though would have probably been when I got my Mac Mini, because it was my first Mac, and I was just like, wow, I can't believe I hadn't switched over before. Because I know Dave, Ubel, and Jeff kept saying, "Oh, you really need to get you a Mac." Finally got one, and it blew my mind. Not having all the crashing and everything with it.
Patrick, I'm glad you said that, Patrick, because that is probably the best answer that I've heard. That is one of the most dramatic changes that I've ever had in technology, is switching to a Mac. I totally agree with that.
Biggest tech regret, probably the Samsung Instinct.
I
gotta look that one up.
It was on Sprint.
Yeah, it was the iPhone killer that sucked horribly.
It was before Android?
Yes.
Oh, that was bad.
I mean, I was looking real quick. I actually have that phone still laying around somewhere. It was in a box of stuff. But yeah, that's definitely got to be up there in my biggest tech regrets. Probably going Sprint originally too, because I stuck with them for so long. They weren't so bad in the early days when I was back home, but when I came to Baton Rouge, it was like going to 512, 5K, 56K modem speeds. So that's why I switched over to Verizon. Probably other big tech regret was there was an HP tablet I bought. It was the TX, I think 1200 or something. It was when it would swivel around and it had a pen and everything you could use.
I had that one.
So it broke. And so eventually I got rid of it. Well, 2 years after I get rid of it, they have this class action lawsuit and they go, well, if you still have your device to send it in, we'll give you money. I'm like, who's going to hold on to a broken device for 2 years? So it became my double regret in the sense that I got it in the first place, it broke, and then I didn't keep it, so I wasn't able to get the money back from the claim.
That sucks.
Y'all know what I sold at a garage sale last weekend? A Nexus 7.
I have 3 of them sitting right back here.
They're in a drawer, aren't they?
One of them works.
Yeah, it worked. It worked just fine. My kids just don't use it anymore. I sold it for like $30.
That's actually a good price.
I was like, we don't need this. It was in good shape too.
Yeah. I still say the 7 was one of my favorite tablets just because it was easy to pocket and carry around. I ended up giving it to my mom and my stepdad, and then the other day she goes, "Yeah, I don't know if you can fix this." He dropped it in the bathtub. I'm like, what was he doing watching TV? Watching in the tub?
He
had it propped up in the bathtub watching TV. Maybe he's trying to rinse it off real fast. I don't know. That one's not waterproof.
No. He's like, is there a way to fix it? It's like, pretty much no.
Wow.
Although she's got my Pixel C now, so she's happy.
What are you using?
I have two devices that kind of replace that. I've got the Chromebook Plus, which I really like, and then I have the iPad Pro 10.5.
Oh, I love it. It's beautiful. I didn't expect it to be beautiful, and then I was at Verizon the other day. I was like, oh, so this thing's beautiful. I didn't realize it.
Yeah, and I got mine through Verizon, so I just added it to my single line plan, so I've got its own data plan for it too. Honestly, if Google wants to get me back on a Google tablet, they need to give me something similar to the pencil. I need some. That's what I need for when I go into meetings and take notes and stuff. I don't want a capacitive stylus. I want a legit stylus that's made for my tablet.
I've never used one.
Never on the Note or anything?
Oh, I mean, I've used a Note stylus, but I haven't used an Apple Pencil.
Oh, okay.
Compared to the Note stylus, this thing blows it away because the things are made for it. So that I used Audio Note because I love it because I can record audio while I'm doing it too. So if I do shorthand, it syncs it together. What's nice about it is it automatically does hand rejection. You can touch screen all day and it will not do anything other than scroll. It will only write on the screen when you use the pencil.
The Note won't do that.
No.
Or it wouldn't.
That's why I was even with Samsung, they kind of fell out with their tablets. They had the Tab S and Tab A with the stylus. Those still weren't that great.
Even the Surface wouldn't do that.
Nope.
I used a Surface Pro 4 for a while, and it was But
I mean, if the Pixel C, like if they came out with a new one that had a similar technology, I would go back to that because I do like the open Android, but I like the fact I can pick the iPad Pro up, take it to meeting, take notes and email them to myself and have good handwriting recognition to be able to print them out later if I need or whatever.
Is Google even worried about that, though? That's the question you'd have to ask yourself.
I was hoping Samsung would be because, I mean, the Chromebook Plus has the S Pen as well, which is one of the reasons I got it, but it was too bulky when you flip it around to be able to just pull that out from meeting to meeting. But everything else I love about it because with the Chrome OS, it has the full Chrome browser. So you have Flash support and everything built in, which to me, I like carrying that around instead of my MacBook Pro during the week because I don't really need my full laptop. I just need to be a full browser to check email and go to websites. And so it's perfect. Plus it lets me access my Android apps on a tablet.
Nice. That's when you find out if tech is really useful or not, is when you can use it at work and it's not a problem.
Yep.
All right, so those are our panel topics for this week. If one of those struck a chord with you, if Donnie really made you angry and you want to share it with us, you can email us podcast@thesimulcast.com and we'll get your email. We'll read it on the air. We'll critique your spelling. If you can't spell straightened, we're going to tell you how to spell it.
Right.
And
if Tim Cook wants to reply to me personally, I will talk to you.
Yep.
Yes. We even have you on the show and you can berate Donnie.
That's right.
That's right.
That's right. I'll listen.
That's right. All right. So let's move on to the casting couch. That is what we're playing, watching, reading, listening to. And I'll go first since I'm listed first on the show notes. So Better Call Saul. I am still watching that. About 2 episodes behind for this season. But starting to get to the point where they tie in with Breaking Bad. So I'm really loving seeing the character expansion there. Any of you guys watching Better Call Saul?
Nope.
No, I tried it in the beginning and then never just kind of.
It took like almost the whole season, the whole first season to get going. And I was like,
maybe I'll try to get in it because I think it's on Netflix or something. I can go back and watch it.
Yeah. And I'm also watching The Ultimate Fighter, which is a UFC show. So they basically bring, I don't know what it is, 20 people in and it's kind of like Big Brother with UFC. And then they have fights every week and I kind of enjoy that. It's something I can watch kind of at my leisure. And I didn't put it on here, but I'm still catching up on Narcos.
I tried. I'm so sick of reading subtitles.
I know some Spanish, so it's not really that unnatural for me. But
it's like that's what happens to me is I'll start an episode, and then I'll get like 10 minutes in, and I'm just like, no, maybe later. I don't feel like reading today.
It's fundamental. Yeah, so I'm getting ready to start Orange is the New Black, which I think season 5 is out, and so I'm going to jump on Netflix at some point and watch that.
My sister finished it already.
Yeah, well, I have a job.
She's a teacher, so right now she's not teaching.
Yeah, I have one of those in my household too.
There you go. Must be nice, huh?
2 naps a day. I can say that confidently because she's upstairs and she doesn't watch the show.
But you don't understand what we deal with through the year. How many times I've heard that?
Yeah.
I love you, Crystal.
That's when you say, but I do. Could you come home and tell me about it?
24/7.
No, Patrick, I don't say that. That's why I've been married so long.
You just think it.
I think it. I tell you guys on the show.
You go down in your dungeon, Bill.
That's right. I'm in my man cave with all my toy cars.
So,
all right, Patrick, what are you casting this week?
So I'm trying to finish catching back up on The Expanse. I also started rewatching Game of Thrones to get ready for the new season next month. Totally ready for that. And then broke back out Zelda Breath of the Wild I hadn't played since the first DLC hit because I started playing Mario Kart and then kind of didn't have time to play much. So I'm breaking that game back out and trying to enjoy the first DLC in anticipation of the next one.
Very cool. Brian, how about you?
I've just been watching Silicon Valley. I don't know if you guys have seen that on HBO.
I'm watching it. I'm not up to speed. I'm like 3 episodes or 2 episodes behind, so don't spoil anything.
Yeah, no. Everything else is kind of over until Game of Thrones come back on here. So,
did you hear the dude's not going to be back next year?
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Ehrlich?
Yeah.
I don't know how that's going to work.
I don't know either. I think they kind of. Well, I can't give you any. I was getting ready to spill something, but I mean, it's. I don't know why they.
Man.
Yeah, he is. Kind of makes the show, honestly.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I'm going to feel about it. This season has been so far my least favorite, though.
I agree.
I'm hoping that it gets a little bit better towards the end, but it has been less exciting. I'm kind of feeling like it's kind of the same thing over and over and over, like we're getting into it. But there's still time. There's still time.
Oh yeah. So I'm just excited for Game of Thrones to come back as well. I know Patrick, you're trying to catch up on it, but
I'm caught up. I'm just rewatching.
You're just rewatching, getting ramped up. Okay.
Oh, yeah. I'll put this way. Cool. I'm caught up and read up, so I'm ready for.
There you go. Cool. But that's it. That's all I've been doing. It's been too busy. So.
How about you, Donnie?
We'll skip the first 2 since I've already covered those. No, actually, I'm sorry. That's Picks of the Week. Okay, Fixer Upper is the show my wife and I have started watching, and I think it's because I am in this heavy expansion upstairs of a bonus room, a bedroom, and a bathroom. So we've been trying to get some ideas. The closer I get with sheetrock up in here and getting close to things. Fixer Upper, if anybody's ever heard of it, it's on. They had just put it on Hulu. Actually, it's a guy and a lady.
4/7 here, Donnie.
Is it? My wife started watching it. And I've enjoyed watching it. I like to get ideas like that. Pretty cool show. Anyways, The Ranch is back on Netflix. Anybody that watches the Danny Masterton and Ashton Kutcher show, it's back on. They have some pretty good one-liners on there. We still watching Survivor. I don't know what season we're in, 21-ish or something like that. And then I also watch Sheetrock a lot. I watch Sheetrock the most right now.
What is that? I don't know that.
It's where you take these big sheets of wood and they are sheetrock, and nothing plays on them, but you get to drill holes and like put screws down in them, and it starts looking like TV if you look at it long enough. But no, seriously, I put up 16 or 17 sheets last weekend. If anybody's ever done any kind of work like that knows it's a lot of work.
Yeah, it's no fun.
I actually enjoy it. After I was done with the ceilings, yeah, you did it all.
Yeah.
Yeah, the ceilings sucked the worst. Once I got to the walls, I mean, I had a blast. I'm having a blast on the walls. I love it.
Yeah, that's
It's the sanding part that's
I'm not doing that. I don't have the patience. I'm too meticulous for stuff like that. I'd rather pick somebody else's work. So as soon as I'm done,
mud them, sand them.
I'm not doing that. I'm calling a crew in to come do that and knock that out in a couple days. Then I can rest.
I don't blame you.
Did you do it, Bill?
No, I had somebody finish it. That's just insane. It's insanity.
Yeah, I'm with you 100%. But that's all I've got going on.
Sweet. So we'll move on to picks of the week. My pick this week, and honestly, it's been 2 months since we did one of these, so I may have already picked this. If I did, you can go back in the show notes and find it. I'm sorry. I picked up a Wemo Smart Plug, actually a pair of them about a month ago. And the intent was, I got this idea from Jeff Boothroyd on Twitter. My pool pump, I wanted some way to control that through my Google Home and to be able to schedule to turn that on and off. And it works fantastically. You can set up profiles and if this, then that, and have it come on. I set it to come on every 4 hours. And one of the cool things you can do with the if this, then that integration is if it starts to rain outside, you can have it turn the pump off no matter what status it's in, which is super handy because our pump would get the basket would get clogged with leaves and stuff when it rained and there was a storm. So now I don't have to worry about turning it off. It automatically.
How does it do that now?
So the Wemo Smart Plug is a Wi-Fi enabled plug.
Right. I've got several.
Yeah. It connects through if this, then that. And you can set up in IFTTT, you can set up different recipes. And one of the recipes I have connects to Weather Underground.
So what if Weather Underground is wrong?
Then my pool pump will shut off for 4 hours. Really,
that's what I was trying to get to right there.
Yeah, but there's other kind of cool things you can do there. Like, say for instance, you're going to be gone out of town and you don't want your house to be dark all the time, and you don't want to leave the lights on all the time.
Right.
You can set it to turn them on and off at certain times at sunset. And then
I have my light switch, my Wemo light switches, both front light and the garage lights to come on at sunset and then go off at sunrise. So I don't ever turn them on. So
you can do that, basically the same kind of stuff, but with a smart plug, you can do it with other devices that would just plug into it. So it's actually
cool.
Pretty sweet. So I've got two, one for the pump, one for the light. And so with the Google Home, we can tell it to turn on the pool light. We can tell it to play music out on the deck, all kinds of cool stuff like that. And, we never have to actually pull up our phones and pick out a playlist and do all that stuff. So you could, in theory, set up a shortcut that did all those things at once. Turn on the pool light, play music. You could turn off the camera in the back if you wanted. Just.
Do you have it hooked up to where I've got that My Harmony deal, the Logitech Harmony, where we can tell Alexa to turn on my TV and turn onto a channel? Have you ever set that up? I
don't have the Harmony hub.
Yeah, it's nice. It's pretty cool. My kids, we don't hardly use a remote to turn on and off the TV anymore. Now, obviously, we've got to use it with the Fire TV, but it's pretty cool. It works solid, I would say. What are we sending? Oh, you're just getting the email?
We got an email from Steve. I'm sorry, from Tim. I'll paraphrase. Hi, Donnie. Heard you're not too pleased with Apple and me. Please purchase anything but Apple. P.S. I'm very happy, so I do suck. Love, Tim.
Something tells me that something was changed there.
Paraphrase. Carry on. All right, so Patrick, what's your pick this week, this month, every other month?
The iPad Pro 10.5. As I said earlier, it really works for me for being able to take it from meeting to meeting and do notes with the Apple Pencil. Only pet peeve I would say about it is, I've talked about this with Clay before on Tech Talk, the Apple Pencil, it seems like it was an afterthought. They should have done a better job of integrating it with the device in the sense of the cases. None of them, the official Apple cases, had a place for it. And it seems like with the connector thing, they could have found a way with charge to maybe have the pencil magnetized to your iPad and charge that way. Would have been a better way to do it.
Patrick, you're looking at this the wrong way, man. Let me clear this up for you. Let me straighten this up. They want you to buy more pencils. So any way that you can lose one or break the charger off on it is better for them, because it's only $99 and they're thinking, hey, $99 is not much. So if we can make him break it or lose it, then he'll have to spend another $100. And it's just at the price point where he's okay with it. He's pissed, but he's like, I'll go buy another one for $100.
Yeah, the charging sucks.
Cash flow, man.
$99.
Cash flow is king.
Condom?
I will say it does work really well though.
It better.
I mean, as soon as you charge it with the lightning connector, it pairs it to your device, and I mean, it does work well. I mean, you're paying about what you would pay for like a Wacom type tablet style of stuff. So,
but it plugs in the bottom to charge.
So
I got a charge dock for that.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard of. Like, how long does it take to charge off the bottom of the iPad?
I don't know. I refuse to do it because I'm afraid it's going to snap.
Yeah, no doubt.
The first thing I did was get a dock.
But on my Apple Magic Mouse, when I charge it, I can't use it because I have to plug it in the bottom.
Oh, so you have the updated one.
You have to buy. What the deal is, you have to buy two.
So you use.
So when you're charging one, then you can use your other one.
Or use your mouse while your touchpad is charging. And vice
right.
versa.
You're not getting it, Bill. You're just confused.
Yes, I'm very confused.
We sell products.
Yes.
Please buy more.
I'm going to reply to that email. All right, Brian, what do you got for us this week?
I have an app that's, I don't know if you guys have heard of it, PhotoScan. Google came out with it was probably like last year sometime, but I've really started getting to using that and scanning old photos, and really cool app. I put the links in the show notes for Android and iOS. I don't know if you can use it on the iPad. I mean,
better than ScanBot?
This is particularly just for photos, though. And somehow it links to your Google Photos, and it'll upload them automatically, and et cetera, et cetera, if you want. I don't know. I find it really easy to use and does a really good job. So
I use it for not just photos, but for documents. Like if I need to send something to somebody, rather than just snapping a picture, which seems a little unprofessional, the photo scan actually looks like you made a copy of it or a scan. So
looks like you put.
I never tried that.
Yeah, it's built into.
I use ScanBot for that, but I never tried it. Yeah,
Donnie, you should try it for real.
I will try it.
Yeah, that's Brian's pro tip for you this week. You're just getting all of them.
I've got another one. I need a pro tip on an app to replace on an iPhone that's called Text Grabber. Ever heard of it?
No.
I wonder if it's on Android. I haven't even looked, but it will. You can actually take a picture and it converts it into text. So if you need to say, hypothetically, I'm shipping off a UPS box and the label's on there, and I want to take a picture of the label and turn that into, and not actually type it out and look at it, it'll convert it into text, and I can copy it and paste it into somewhere on my phone that I need it. It's called Text Grabber. I think it's only on the iPhone though.
Of course.
Bastards.
Yeah.
So you don't know of an app like that on Android?
Not offhand, no. It would be nice. Well, Adobe has one. I just saw it like a week or two ago. I forget what it's called, but
hey, it's on here. Kind of. There's an app kind of like it. It's $3.99.
Patrick,
they're sending. They break my concentration when you guys send an email and I've got to read it. It's from Tim Cook.
It was a chat.
Oh, it was in the chat.
Yeah.
Tim Cook's apparently got a hold of the show tonight. I'm still missing it. Why am I not seeing the chat?
In the chat, top left.
It's there, but all I see is you're in it. Oh, okay. I was on the wrong tab. Nope, still don't see it. Google, you're killing me. We can carry on. I'll find it, and then I'll interrupt the show when I do.
All right, so you got two picks this week we haven't already covered.
Oh, is it my turn?
Yes.
Let's see. What am I? No, I've already covered everything here.
Okay.
Except Tim Cook is a douchebag, and picks of the week: Trump haters.
Great. All right. So Donnie, tell everybody where they can find you.
Find me on Twitter, because I mean, please somebody message me. I feel like nobody pays attention to me on Twitter anymore. It's kind of sad. Well, I mean, it's just you and me.
Apparently.
It's just you and me. Other than that, Clay every now and then talks to me, and that's about it. I just tweet to blank openness.
Steve Strado, will you please tweet at Donnie? Please.
Tim Cook, send me a tweet. Let's have a conversation on Twitter. I'd like to talk.
Yes.
With not with a wink.
Yes. Brian, where can everybody find you?
Find me on Twitter at BWFeldy.
And Patrick.
You can find me on Twitter at AXP_Patrick. You can also find me on the AXP podcast and on TikTok.
That's right. And I am Bill Stebbins. I'm easy to find at Bill Stebbins. And I am also on the AXP podcast, which we do every so many weeks, just like this podcast.
Maybe a little more frequently.
Yeah. So if you want to find us, you can search for the Simulcast or TechSide in your podcast client of choice. You can subscribe to us in iTunes or Google Play. We have links for those in the show notes. You can also leave a review and comment, but only if you have nice things to say about us. No, I just made that up. We also have a Patreon page that gives you, our dedicated and loyal listeners, an opportunity to support us. For as little as $1 a month, you can feed Donnie. If you'd like to support us,
I need sheetrock money.
Visit our support page, patreon.com/techside, and leave us a comment on Twitter at the Simulcast. Email us. You can do podcast at thesimulcast.com. And you can check out our website, techside.net/simulcast. You can also check out all the other great and not so great podcasts, blogs, photos, and everything else that's part of the TechSide Network.
Tim Cook messaged me and said he had an Apple Pencil for me.
I bet he does. He's making a condom for it just for you. Thank you. Good night.
Good night.
I don't know how to stop this without killing everybody.